Hi everyone, Sam Sweeney here. For those who don't know me, I'm a fiddle player mostly. Um, I play a few other instruments as well, and I do a lot of work in folk music education, particularly with young people. So I'm going to talk about how I advise young people starting out a career in folk music. So I've got a list of 10 to-dos and not to-dos when you're starting out a career in the folk scene, and I'm going to try and rattle through them as quick as I can. So, number one, lose the ego. A large ego or arrogance doesn't get you a long way in this world, particularly when you're starting out. The folk scene is full of kind, humble, generous, nice people. And by and large, if you have a large ego, promoters won't really warm to you, audiences won't warm to you, and people won't want to work with you. So, humility is the key. Be a nice person. It might seem very straightforward, but it's really important. Number two, if you support an artist and you are sharing a dressing room space with that band or artist, number one, don't fill that dressing room with your friends and family after the gig or indeed before the gig. Um, it's a really bad idea. And secondly, this happens more often than you would think. Don't touch the artist's rider. The artist's rider, the food and the drink that they get as part of their contract, is a thing that they need in order to be able to do their gig. Frequently, it'll be their dinner, their evening meal before the gig, so don't touch it. It's not really there for you. So there you go. Number three, I can't emphasize this one enough. Listen to music all the time. Listen to whatever music you like. Listen to a wide range of music. To get better, listening to music and lifting bits of technique from others and learning from recordings of other people is the best way to get better. And number two, it's important to know what else is out there and how you fit in and how your music fits in to what else is out there currently. So listen to music all the time. It's really, really important. Number four, I get this question quite a lot. How and when to make my first CD? By and large, the CD market is on the down and streaming is on the up. People still buy CDs in the folk world, and we're very lucky that they do that. But if you're starting out, social media is an enormous part of being a professional musician. And the great thing about social media is you can make recordings and videos and put them out on Facebook and Instagram, spread the word about yourself and your music, and when you make something better, you can put it up and delete the old stuff. You can't erase a CD from history. I started making CDs when I was about 12. I certainly wish that the first few albums I made weren't still available. So it's worth bearing in mind. CDs should be really quite a long way down your priority list when you're starting out. But use Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. Those things are great. So there we go. Number five, bit of a strange one this perhaps, but the folk scene, as I said, is a kind and humble and generous and lovely place. But don't be over familiar with people you've never met before in the industry. So going up to somebody at a gig or at an event and going straight up to them and giving them a hug and using a nickname isn't such a great idea. Might seem like common sense, but being polite and generally decent is a good idea, and being overly chummy and familiar straight away, not necessarily the best thing to do. Number six, practice, practice, practice your instrument or whatever you do. All the best artists in the world are still getting better. They may have been professional for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but they still practice and they're still getting better at what they do. The moment you start stagnating and stopping getting better, you will notice that suddenly your diary starts to look a lot emptier and that you have less work. And just because you have a full calendar doesn't mean that you can stop practicing. Number seven, have more than one string to your bow. It's really important. When I was 18, I was just a fiddle player. Within a couple of years, I was being asked to play the fiddle and the viola and the cello and the drum kit and the bagpipes and do singing, all as part of my job. So be able to do more than one thing, and it will result in you having more work. Number eight, you can be bold in the folk world. It's a generous place. People will often give you help and advice for nothing. So be bold and ask people for things. And more often than not, people will help you for free because they want to help you and they want to help the scene at large. So be bold and be prepared not to get everything that you want, but if you don't ask, you don't get. So that's a good thing. Two more. Number 9, think about your audience. Think about who is watching you and listening to you. It might be wonderful to make 15-minute long arrangements with huge improvisation sections in the middle at home, but when you're starting out in a career in this music, does an audience at a folk club want to watch a 15-minute long epic arrangement of a folk tune? Probably not. So actually put yourself in the shoes of your audience and think about what it is like to listen to you and to watch you. And finally, really, really important in this day and age, you need to be able to record audio and video at home to a really high standard. A few times a year, I will get asked with less than a day's notice to record something for a film or TV or someone's album or a social media video with a couple of hours notice, and I have to turn it around to a very high standard. It doesn't cost the earth. Get a decent microphone. You can often record things on your phone or on a not very expensive camera, but it's so important in this day and age to be able to record audio and video at home to a high standard. That's the end of my list. Lovely.